Is that you, Father? Yes, my son. I'm here. My little friend, I'm so glad you made it to the church. It's a safe haven for times like these, and a fountain in the desert when you need comfort and love. Come, let's get you some food and blankets. I have a special room for the unfortunates to stay and rest up. He's guided down the stairs to a small room the size of a closet. On the way, he could see small masses of people grouped in different parts of the church, all the while scanning the room for his beloved. Father, have you seen my wife? We were to meet here in case of an emergency. I have not. But don't worry, people are arriving all the time. You can wait here and I will bring her to you at first sight. As the door closes, his eyes adjust to the candlelight. A tiny figure emerges. How's it going, boy? It was Maurice, the juggling nit, called so for his diminutive stature of 3 feet 4 inches. He's the greatest juggler in all of Europe and can manage 12 balls at once due to his enormous hands. It is said of him, he has hands the size of someone 7 feet tall. They embrace and kiss thrice before a word is spoken. Where's the little princess? I tell him of our plan to meet at the church, and if anything should ever happen. Halfway through the explanation, he places his finger over his lips and draws close to my ear as he whispers, They are gathering up freaks, especially little people. They are caging them and putting them in boats bound for England, even America. We chose the church because we were married here and are known by Father McConnell and the staff. Princess would do needlework and fine embroidery and tapestries. These are dangerous times. Trust no one. I heard they are getting 30,000 Austrian shillings for little people and 50,000 for performers. Owners and employers are trading their release from prison for the whereabouts of littles. They both freeze as the door opens hastily. The pulse of another little body stumbles forward. It's Rupert, the shoe, called so for his mastery as a cobbler. It's obvious that Rupert is skinned up and out of breath. He collapses in their arms as they fall to the floor. Upon catching his breath, they listen as he whispers the turn of events that led to his escape from the port, where he was waiting for passage to America. He explains after he had purchased a ticket, he noticed military police were rounding up anyone of diminutive stature. He could see dozens of people being held in large cages, males being separated from females. Art the jester and Earl the acrobat were being held together in separate wooden containers. During a fight that had broken out, he was able to escape by following close behind a man who had an enormous trunk on wheels until he was out of sight of the police. Once the man had spotted him and called out, he ran for cover among some rose bushes and hid until dusk. While making his way to the church, he had to avoid checkpoints set up by military police to round up anyone without travel documents. Once inside, he was greeted by Father McConnell and escorted to this room by Brother Demas. Have you seen my wife? She was not among any of the people I saw out there. Bolting to the door, Father starts pounding and kicking. Father McConnell, let me out of here. I need to find my wife. Father McConnell, please, help me. After waiting in silence with no response, he's joined by his friends who tried to calm him. Listen, boy, there are hundreds of people out there all requiring Father McConnell's steady hand. We must calm down and wait. Did it occur to you that he has put us up in this closet away from the others to keep us from being taken by the police? Father McConnell is well respected and knows well the avarice of men's hearts. They sink slowly to the floor in silence. One by one they drift off to a troubled sleep. Father is awakened by the occasional scream from the outer room. His heart is heavy, and he argues with himself for not being aware of the impending war and its ramifications. He wondered what his little princess is doing, and if she was safe and well. He's hoping at any moment a knock on the door will reunite him with her, and how he will kiss her and swear to her he will never leave her side again. As he drifts off, he feels her there and can smell the taste of the strawberry balm she wears to protect her lips in the summer. He holds her delicate hand and places it to his heart so he can feel the rapid beat. Emerald is the color of her eyes, and the spirit in her makes them shine like gemstones kissed by rain. If you have ever woken up from a sleep as the morning sun penetrates a room and yearned to stretch all the way out with a gentle groan of satisfaction until the world seems right, that is what it's like to be with her, contently and overwhelmed. A slight tap on the door brings all three to open their eyes and listen intently. Who is it? It's Brother Demas. I have some food for you. The door opens, revealing a heavy-set, balding man with a tray of food and a flask of water. I'm sorry it took so long to get back to you. We're all overwhelmed with the crowds of horrified people hiding from the military police. Anyone without papers is being thrown into prison and separated from their families. There are a lot of wounded and sick clamoring to gain entrance, and we are over capacity at present. I'm glad you and your friends have this little space to rest and gather. The young ones stand in order for the elderly and the children to sit. We are no longer taking new arrivals, just a prayer and a crust of bread to send them on their way. Brother Demas, have you seen or heard of my wife, Princess? We were to meet here in case of an emergency, and we have been in this room for many hours without word. Father McConnell put you here for your own safety. Children and infants are sleeping on top of their parents as it is. Besides, you would not fare well out in the masses. Father McConnell has allotted you a private space to avoid abuse. Everyone does not share the compassion of Father McConnell. As you may not know, there is a bounty for little people that has grown up to 80,000 shillings. Some are even gaining passage to America for capture of one of the little persons. Holy Mother, full of grace, you have both blessing and curse in your stature. As far as the little princess is concerned, I have not heard news of her, but I am told all the little people are being held down at the port, awaiting transfer to ships bound for neutral countries outside the war zone. I must go and search for her. I have to see if she has been captured or what's happened to her. Calm down. You would only be caught and separated. You could do her no good right now. Wait. You've got to let him try. We're not prisoners here. He has a right to go. Yes, I have a right to go. I need to go. Calm down for just a moment. Here's what I'll do. I'll go down to the docks and see if she's been captured. If I can, I will let her know that you are here and find out where she's being sent. That way you won't get captured and have no way to plan an escape. I will bring you word by 6 o'clock. And if you still want to go, I will give you money and provisions to make your way to the harbor. In good conscience, that's the only way I could feel right about sending you out in danger. If there is any other way Father McConnell or I can bring her back to you, we will. Brother Demas says a prayer quietly. Spiritu Sancte. Amen. Shu checks the door and opens it a crack to see Brother Demas scurry down the hallway. Just making sure the door isn't locked by accident. Look, we need a plan, in case no one shows at 6. I have a plan. I think it might work. We wait until dark and follow the waste tunnels down where they empty into the harbor. I'm sure we won't be seen by authorities. It'll be a little nasty crawling under the grates, but freedom is well worth the price we must endure. Once at the harbor, we can crawl along Fish Gut Alley. Fish Gut Alley? That's a rat-infested, foul-smelling disease factory. I won't do that. We're liable to get dysentery or worse. That's where I draw the line. Shu, please. Do you want to be taken by the army and put into a slave camp where they treat us like dung on their boot? There are boats to freedom. We might find Princess and be able to board one and make a decent living in England or America and live as free men. We have all worked for the bigs, but at least we had our dignity. I want freedom for my wife and child. Wait, what did you say? Princess is with child? What? She told me last week and swore me to secrecy. She didn't want the household where she worked to know, for fear the daughter would take her child and make it into a play doll. We were planning to leave in a few months and go to France and start a new life. The giants mean well, but they would never let us raise the child on our own. Okay. Are you in, Shu? I'm in. It's settled then. If we don't hear back from Brother Demas by 6, we will head out on our own to the docks by way of Fish Alley. The tiresome trio eventually killed time by playing cards, as it was the Knit's favorite pastime. He had an uncanny way of always winning, but no one seemed to care. It was noted that a large rat would scurry back and forth from the closet, bringing breadcrumbs to a pile that he was making near a sewing basket. As the Shu grew hungry, he decided to follow the house cat-sized rat back to its origin. Upon pulling back a pile of crates away from the wall, he discovered an old chute used for dispersing ashes. The musty air filled his face and dusted him of secondary soot. Hey fellas, there's a coal chute that hasn't been used in some time. I was wondering how a rat that big was getting in and out of here. The other two drop what they are doing and join the Shu in looking down the hole. You would definitely have to put a scarf over your face or you might suffocate on coal dust. Upon hearing a scuffle coming from outside the door, they positioned themselves with ears to the door, listening. It's Brother Demas talking to some men. Now I've told you the church can't take less than 30,000 each. They are skilled performers and craftsmen. A well-dressed man takes Demas by the throat and shoves him back into 2 policemen that start working him over. He falls to the ground in a heap and begs mercy as they kick him unconscious. A voice from behind rings out. That's enough, gentlemen. That's no way to treat a brother of the order. Demas was always a bit overreaching. The agreed-upon price is 20,000 for each. Now take it or leave it. There are 5 other parties that will pay handsomely for these tiny treasures. The man in the suit grumbles as he puts $60,000 into the outstretched hand of Father McConnell. Thank you, and may the Lord bless you. Right this way. Father McConnell leads them to the closet door. Greetings, little friends. I have someone I want you to meet. As the door swings open, a man stands alone in the doorway of the now empty room.